Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your September soul session. I'm Marlowe. If you're new and if you're family, welcome back, my friend. Please excuse my voice. It's a lot better than it was yesterday, but I lost my voice, so I sound a little scraggly. So work with you, girl. But anywho, if you're not familiar with what my soul sessions are, they are your spirituality as well as personal development readings, in which we look at the energies that you guys may encounter for a given month for the sole purpose of giving you clarity, insight, and guidance and all that good stuff and whatnot, or whatever. So jumping into you guys cards, okay, first card out you guys have is the Hermit. Then we have the Six of Cups and the reverse. We have the Chariot, the Four of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Five of Wands. I call that my Petty LaBelle card. So what it is looking like, Scorpio, coming out of August and into September, there's a bit of solitude between you guys and maybe like, you know, your friend group, your friends, your family, things of the sort. And it's more or less you guys kind of spending some time alone, trying to go within to figure out who you are, where you are, what you're doing, trying to get clear on what's next for you. The only thing I see with this that's a bit of, I don't want to say alarming. I feel like that's a little too strong of a word. But with the Six of Cups, it's looking like with this time that you guys are spending alone, it's putting you almost in a position of idealizing the past, I want to say. And I feel that this can kind of go into two different ways. For some of you, there's either this energy of wanting a do-over. So there's like some sense of regret about something in the past that you wish that you could do over. There's others of you where there's something you feel you can't get past almost, if that makes sense. So it's almost like two different energies of this energy that's kind of orienting you guys to the past. And I think it's almost like the misconception you guys have is in order for you to have clarity or in order for you to move forward, and it's really, it's two different things I'm trying to say here. It's almost like where you guys are presently, it's having the illusion of feeling like you cannot move forward. The reason why one can feel like they can't move forward is because of a particular situation that occurred past tense, right? And it would be like a really huge event. But in reference to that situation in the past, there's two different groups of Scorpio people. There's one group of you who have this vibe, almost like the one that got away kind of vibe. So it's something that you wish that you had done differently, or if you could go back in time, you would change it. That other group of you, it feels like it's something that happened that you feel like marred, shifted, or changed you in a way that you could never vindicate yourself from that. That would be the perception of it. So it's two different things, but the whole premise of this is its energy being trapped in the past. When we go into hermit mode, the purpose of that is to go within to get reacquainted with our inner light. So we know which way to chart forward or what to do next to like realign with ourselves, if you will. But I feel when you guys went kind of, you know, took a step back from everything and distanced yourself from other people, the intention was to do that. But as opposed to going within to hear from spirit, it's like one went within and is reminiscing on the past, and that is keeping one stuck. But with this Chariot card, I don't know if I said the Hermit card is Virgo energy, with this Chariot card that's Cancerian energy, it's more or less speaking to that the premise of this is more or less to come to one accord within yourself so that you can move forward. So there's an acceptance that needs to happen. So what's really happening is one took a step back, went within. Sorry if this is redundant, but as opposed to, you know, taking, like reflecting on the past, or even allowing oneself to reminisce for a little bit, is more or less getting emotionally stuck there. And the emotion that you guys are stuck in is one of grief and loss. So it's either grief, loss, shame, guilt, something within that stratosphere. And it's needing to move forward, but holding on to whatever this is that one feels unfinished business with the past. So either a desire for a do-over, or feeling something happened to you, changed you so much that you can't get past it, right? And I feel with this Five of Wands, it leads to a great deal of inner conflict and conflict with others, because Scorpios wouldn't be standing fully in their power. It's almost as if whatever this past situation is, it's you guys showing up in the present based on how this past experience has affected you. So all of this is kind of a very stagnant energy, but it's kind of missing what the point was here. And the point was to come to a sense of resolve about it. And this kind of comes into the energy that the collective is in at present. It's like leading up into July. It's like from August and September and into October, we're supposed to be like wrapping up unfinished business. So for a lot of people, it's a lot of past wounds, childhood traumas, like unprocessed emotions that have been coming up for people for months. But the purpose of it isn't to kind of stew in it or to marinate in it, you know? The purpose of it is for it to come up, for you to acknowledge it and for you to process it and work through it so that you can move forward without this baggage. Because I feel for a lot of us, a lot of the energies we've been operating in up to this point are energies from past experiences. For some people, it goes back as far as childhood. And we've been carrying that with us, and it's been altering how we're showing up for showing up with others, how we're showing up for ourselves. It's the root of a lot of self-sabotage. It's, you know, the seed of a lot of discord and partnerships and relationships and things of the sort. So it's a lot of almost like facing your shadow, if you will. The next card that came out is the Sun card, and that's Leo energy. And again, that kind of pretty much wraps this up. What the whole point of this month, Scorpio, being, it's like a phoenix rising from the ashes, if you will. It's like a rebirth of yourself. It's like all of these things coming up are not coming up to make you feel some type of way or for you to sit in an energy of shame or guilt. It's for you to acknowledge that this has been the root influence and a lot of the experiences that you guys have had in your life up to this point, right? So meaning, if I were to give a practical example of this, it's almost like, say if it was a person like the one that got away, right? The reason why relationships don't work out is because you're still very much in love with that person, and because your heart is still with that person, it's like not allowing relationships after that person to maturate into anything, right? So it's not really that other people are rejecting you. It's just the fact that the reality is you would rather be with that person from your past. And there's a need to acknowledge that, in the sense of making a decision to either go back to that person and fix things with them, right? Or making a decision to leave it behind and to fully move on with someone else, you know? Or say if another example of the other group I was picking up on is, you know, your heart was broken and you were betrayed by, you know, a partner or something like that in the past, right? And, you know, ever since that person betrayed you, you feel like you could never, ever trust again. So you end up going through life, not making friends, not dating anyone, and living a very solitary life because of what this one person did, and not giving yourself the opportunity to get to know other people because it's seeing all people the way that you see that one particular person that hurt you. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like that past experience having power over your life presently. So you're not really living, you're reliving that experience in the past. And the reason why it's being brought up this month is not for you to sit and stew in it or to feel bad about it or, you know, just marinate in guilt, shame, and what have you, or whatever, in reference to it. It's to acknowledge that one has been allowing this situation to guide their thinking, to change their presentation, to influence them to not engage with people, whatever the case. And it's you showing up in the world as your inauthentic self. So this isn't really who you are. And this month would be about you guys realigning with the truth of who you are. But the only way through that, right? And it gives me kind of like moon card vibes, like thinking about that path a person is walking down to the little lake or whatever. It's like, in order for one to get past this, you have to face the shadow and integrate the shadow into your experience in order to move forward, right? So just like with the Chariot, it's the light side of you, your conscious side, and your unconscious side, your shadow aspects, integrating them together and moving forward. And overall, if we were to get really deep and esoteric with it, that's really what I'm seeing for a lot of people this month is the month of September has a lot to do with integration of your experience, because it's almost like, to this point, a lot of people have been existing as two different facets of themselves. It's like the self that we created, or the byproduct of what we've been marred from the past. And, and then the shadow aspect of us. And it's just there, we don't acknowledge it, but this month is all about acknowledging it. So we can kind of finish that unfinished business, so that we can enter this this new cycle in 2022 complete, if that's making sense. At the bottom of your deck is the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. So here is the dealio. If we were to look at the month of September as what is it? How I'm seeing it is like a decontamination tank, right? It's almost like, say if October is like, okay, this is the new energy we're going into that leads into 2022, right? The month of September is like the decontamination tank. So on the other side of this, there is a seed, right? Because I look at all aces, that the 10 exists within the ace. So it's like a seed that spirit is giving you, your experience is giving you, that you're intended to plant, tend to, and it grows into the 10 of Pentacles, right? So this is being held back. So one is looking for the seed. They're looking for the new thing, like, what is my next step? And one may feel kind of blind at present, not really knowing what the next step is. And the key is that this particular thing that's for you, it's not the time for you to receive it now, because it needs to be planted in fertile ground, like decontaminated ground. So the premise of this month is not to plant seeds, especially with us going into the retrograde. So the premise of this month is not to start something new and to plant new seeds. The premise of this month is to decontaminate. So anything that could be a hindrance or could be a danger to this particular seed that you're going to get in the month of October, proverbially speaking, this is the month in which one is decontaminating the area, the ground, and making sure that it's a fertile environment in order for this proverbial seed to thrive. So this isn't a month to start something new. You never want to start new stuff during the retrograde anyway. This is a month to clear space for what it is that you want to call into your life, if that's making sense. So I hope that makes sense. So Scorpio, that has been your soul session for the month of September. I'm going over to my network and Patreon and Vimeo and YouTube members, because I never say those anymore, to do you guys extended. And I'm doing them different. I'm looking at it like week by week and giving you guys some guidance for the month week by week. So if you're about that life, follow me on over there. If not, I still love your freaking face, and I will see you guys sooner than later, my friends. Love your face, Scorpio.